My 30M wife, 35F, consistently undermines and denigrates my and our joint achievements. I'm at my wit's end, feeling this is the final straw in our 8-year relationship. I desperately need help figuring out what to do. My wife downplayed my and our shared achievements, compared me unfavorably to her friends, claiming I'm not special, leaving me feeling perpetually like I have to earn her appreciation. She seems fundamentally incapable of understanding my need for support. I feel lost, exhausted, and question the future of our marriage. I feel like I'm standing on a precipice, looking down into a chasm of uncertainty and pain. The ground beneath me has been eroding for years, but a recent incident felt like a massive piece just broke off, leaving me teetering on the edge. I'm talking about my relationship with my wife of 8 years. Specifically, her persistent, soul-crushing habit of undermining, minimizing, and outright denigrating my personal and our joint achievements. This isn't a new issue, it's a chronic condition that has plagued our marriage for years. But the latest episode, just recently, has brought me to my absolute limit. I am, quite literally, at my wit's end. I feel emotionally drained, deeply hurt, and fundamentally misunderstood. It feels less like a partnership and more like a constant audition I'm failing, a never-ending quest to prove my worth to the one person whose support should be unconditional. Let me tell you about what happened, because I think laying it all out helps illustrate the pattern and the depth of the problem. The day started off great. I had a significant presentation at work, something I'd put a lot of effort into. It went really well, I felt prepared, the audience was receptive, and I delivered it smoothly. The positive feedback afterward was encouraging. Even more meaningful were the interactions I had with several junior colleagues who sought me out specifically to ask for career advice. They shared their aspirations and challenges, and I was able to offer some guidance based on my own experiences. It was a moment of genuine connection and mentorship, and seeing their appreciation felt incredibly rewarding. This experience, this sense of having navigated challenges and built something meaningful in my career, sparked a period of reflection on my way home. I thought about my life journey so far, the hard work, the choices, the lucky breaks, the support I've received, and the things I've managed to achieve by the age of 30. I felt a wave of gratitude wash over me. Gratitude for the opportunities, for the people who have been in my life, my family, my close friends, and yes, my wife, and for my own resilience and effort in making things happen. It wasn't about ego, it was a quiet, internal acknowledgement of progress and fortune. I felt a strong desire to share this positive, reflective moment with my wife when I got home. I wanted to connect with her, to share this feeling of accomplishment and gratitude. I started by telling her about my day at work, the successful presentation, and the conversations with colleagues. Then, I transitioned into the reflection it had triggered. I told her that moments like this made me pause and appreciate our successes, not just mine, but hers too, and the significant things we'd built together as a couple. I mentioned some specific examples: earning my university degree, reaching a leadership position at work, buying our first home together, building our family life. These weren't handed to us, they were the result of combined effort, planning, and sacrifice. I also made a point to highlight her personal achievements, reminding her of the impressive things she has accomplished in her own career and life. My intention was to foster a shared sense of appreciation for where we are and what we've built. I wanted her to share in the positive feeling, to feel proud of our journey, just as I was feeling. Her initial reaction completely blindsided me and immediately deflated the positive atmosphere. Her very first comment was, "I think in some sense you fell into this path. It's not your plan or choice from the beginning." I was stunned. Fell into it? That couldn't be further from the truth. While luck and opportunity certainly play a role in anyone's life, the path I've taken, my education choices, my career moves, the effort I've put into my work, the decision to invest in our home, these were deliberate, planned, and often required significant hard work and sacrifice. I immediately expressed my strong disagreement, explaining that these outcomes were absolutely the result of conscious decisions and sustained effort. Instead of acknowledging this, she doubled down, shifting the goalposts. She said, "I think," she inserted names of several friends, mostly her own friends or mutual acquaintances, all achieve these things. This felt like a direct attempt to minimize what I was sharing, to make it sound commonplace and therefore, I assumed, not worthy of special acknowledgement or reflection from me. I felt the conversation rapidly souring. It wasn't about comparing ourselves to others, it was about acknowledging our own journey and successes. I tried to explain this to her, but she just kept handballed away my points. When I would mention a specific achievement, like buying our house at a relatively young age for our area, or reaching a certain level in my career by 30, she would dismiss it. "Oh, I didn't count that," she'd say, or, to me, "That's similar to XYZ, something she considered less significant or more common, or even not many people choose to do that," implying that certain achievements were less valid if they weren't on some universal checklist. I felt like I was in a bizarre argument where the basic facts of our life were being debated and dismissed. It was frustrating and bewildering. To try and bring some objective perspective, we even looked up some statistics related to certain milestones. Only after seeing the data did she begrudgingly agree that some of those achievements were, perhaps, worthy of being called achievements. But by then, the moment was completely ruined. The positive, reflective mood had evaporated, replaced by a sterile, defensive debate about definitions and statistics. I wasn't trying to size ourselves up against the world, I was trying to share a feeling of gratitude and acknowledge the positive things in our life with my partner. The broader point, the appreciation of our shared journey and individual efforts, felt completely lost in her need to categorize, compare, and ultimately, minimize. I tried, again, to articulate my feelings and needs. I told her, as honestly and openly as I could, that to me, she is always special, always the best in my eyes. That when she achieves something, no matter how big or small, I always celebrate it with genuine enthusiasm. I encourage her, I try to help her push towards her goals, I constantly tell her that she is capable of great things and that she deserves success and happiness. I told her that this is how I feel and how I act towards her. In stark contrast, I explained, she always seems to downplay my successes. She makes them sound like nothing special, or something anyone could do, or something others have already done. It feels like a constant withholding of validation. She denied that she does this. She then said something that hurt deeply and confused me even more. She said that she cannot offer what I want, and that she cannot, and I remember the word exactly, adore you. I was taken aback. Adore you? That's not what I'm asking for, I told her. I don't want blind adoration. I want a partner who is in my corner. Just like I am for her. I tried to use an analogy, I said it's like being a fan of a sports team. You support them unconditionally, not blindly ignoring their flaws or losses, but you are always for them, always excited for their wins, always hopeful. That's what I've always done for her, for my friends, for my family, I'm in their corner, always their supporter and champion. That's all I wanted from her. I explained the profound impact of her behavior. I told her that if she doesn't feel that the person she chose to marry is the best for her and someone to always support and celebrate, then she is effectively condemning her partner, meaning me, to a life of constantly feeling like they need to prove their worthiness to her. I told her, with complete honesty, that this is how I always feel in our relationship, like I'm constantly having to earn her love and appreciation. Her response felt like another evasion. She said, "It's not in my nature to say you are the best, but I do believe you can achieve whatever you want." While the second part might sound supportive on the surface, it completely missed the point of my emotional plea. It didn't address the feeling of being consistently undervalued and compared. It didn't acknowledge the hurt caused by her inability to simply celebrate with me. I felt myself reaching a breaking point. I told her, with a heavy heart, that she is the only person in my life who seems incapable of simply appreciating the things I do, the successes I want to share, the projects I'm excited about. My parents, my closest friends, they showed genuine excitement and appreciation for things far smaller than what we were discussing. And yet, the person closest to me, my wife, consistently responds with minimization or comparison. Her response to this was perhaps the most jarring and painful statement of the whole conversation. She said, "I consider you as a friend, a partner but also a competitor, and I think what you can do I also can." A competitor? My wife sees me as a competitor? In our marriage? In our life together? This was a completely alien and deeply unsettling concept. Marriage, to me, is a partnership, a team. The idea that my partner views my life or career progress through the lens of competition was incredibly hurtful. It felt like she wasn't on my side, but on her own, seeing my achievements not as shared victories or things to celebrate together, but as benchmarks or challenges to her own standing. She then asked me, again, what exactly I wanted from her. Honestly, at this point, I just lost it. I felt a surge of pain, frustration, and anger. I said that the way she was treating me felt like emotional abuse. I know that's a harsh word, and maybe in the clinical sense it doesn't fit perfectly, but that's how it felt. It felt like a systematic chipping away at my sense of worth and accomplishment. I told her that all I wanted was to be supported, to be appreciated, and to be valued by my partner. I told her it was completely inappropriate and damaging to compare me to other people in the first place when I was trying to share something positive about us. I emphasized that I have never, ever pointed at someone else and told her that what she does or has achieved is the same as them and therefore not special, because it is just profoundly insulting and undermining to do that to the person you supposedly love and support. The conversation wound down after that, leaving a residue of hurt and unresolved tension. She eventually said she was sorry that hurts, notably, not sorry for causing the hurt or sorry for my actions, which felt like another subtle deflection. Then, she offered an explanation for her behavior. "I think I'm jealous with you and feel insecure. That's why I downplayed your achievement." Hearing this, I felt a mix of validation and despair. On one hand, it offered a potential reason for her hurtful behavior. Insecurity and jealousy are powerful emotions. On the other hand, it didn't magically erase the years of feeling undervalued. And I couldn't shake the thought that I have always celebrated her achievements, genuinely and enthusiastically. Even in the midst of this incredibly difficult conversation, I had brought up many of her great accomplishments as examples of the successes we should be reflecting on. It felt unfair that my consistent support for her was met with her insecurity manifesting as undermining me. At that moment, I just felt an overwhelming sense of futility. I told her that I didn't think she was capable of understanding my point of view, or perhaps capable of giving me what I needed, and that it was probably best to just leave the conversation for today. The air was thick with unspoken words and unresolved pain. And that's where I am now. Reeling from this specific incident, but more significantly, utterly exhausted and lost because this is not an isolated event. This has been happening for years. It's a recurring pattern that pops up every few weeks or months, sometimes over big things, sometimes over small. The cumulative effect is devastating. I honestly feel like almost every moment in our relationship is me trying to subtly or overtly seek some little bit of appreciation or acknowledgement from her. I pour my energy into my career, into our home, into being a good partner, into trying to build a happy life for us. I genuinely try my very best in everything I do. And it's not like I need her to shower me with effusive praise or say grandiose things. I just long for simple validation, a genuine acknowledgement that she sees my effort, that she's happy about my successes, that she appreciates me as a partner, that she can look at something I, or we, have achieved and simply say, "That's great." That's all. Just to feel like she's on my team, that my wins are her wins, that she is genuinely happy for me and proud of us. But instead, I get comparisons, minimizations, and the crushing feeling that nothing I do is quite good enough or special enough to warrant simple, heartfelt appreciation. I am honestly just so tired of this perpetual state of feeling like I have to earn her appreciation, like it's a scarce resource that must be grudgingly doled out only after rigorous examination and comparison. Given that this pattern has persisted for years, despite my attempts to communicate how it affects me, I really feel like I've had enough. I'm tired of the emotional toll it takes. I'm tired of not having a partner with whom I can simply share exciting moments or personal victories without them being turned into a debate, a comparison, or a buzzkill. It feels toxic. It chips away at my self-esteem and my sense of security in the relationship. I lie awake at night, replaying conversations, feeling the weight of years of unspoken or unacknowledged effort. I question everything. Is this what marriage is supposed to feel like? Is it possible for someone to change this fundamental way of interacting? Can I live like this for another 8 years, another 20? The thought is unbearable. I don't know if I should draw a line under this relationship and move on, heartbroken but perhaps eventually finding peace and a partner who can offer the basic support I crave. Or is there something I could say, something I could do, to finally help her understand the profound impact of her behavior and fundamentally change this dynamic? Is couples therapy an option when the core issue feels so ingrained and tied to her confessed insecurity? I feel lost and alone with this problem. I need perspective, advice, anything that can help me navigate this incredibly painful and confusing time. How do you build a future with someone who sees you as a competitor and struggles to celebrate your existence? How do you reconcile love with a consistent lack of appreciation that leaves you feeling hollow? I truly don't know what to do.